Trump shuns Macron's Palestine recognition, Republicans blast France's move. Imagine a world where the fate of an entire nation hangs in the balance and the international community is deeply divided on how to proceed. This is the harsh reality of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict, which has been a major point of contention for decades. But here's where it gets controversial. French President Emmanuel Macron has announced plans to recognize a Palestinian state at the United Nations General Assembly next September, a move that has sparked intense backlash from top Republicans in the U.S. President Donald Trump, known for his strong support of Israel, has dismissed Macron's plan, saying what he says doesn't matter and that the statement doesn't carry weight. However, this response is notably gentler than the sharp condemnation from Secretary of State Marco Rubio and other prominent Republicans, who have blasted the move as reckless and a slap in the face to victims of the October 7th Hamas attack. But what does this mean for the future of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict? And how will it impact the delicate balance of power in the Middle East? To understand the complexity of this issue, it's essential to examine the reasoning behind Macron's decision. The French president cited the need for an immediate ceasefire, as well as the release of all hostages and humanitarian aid to the people of Gaza. He also emphasized that Hamas must be demilitarized and Gaza rebuilt, as outlined in a letter to Palestinian Authority President Mahmoud Abbas. The letter, which was shared on social media, claimed that peace is possible and that it's up to the international community to demonstrate that it's achievable. However, recognition of Palestine remains largely symbolic, as it does not automatically grant UN membership or full diplomatic ties. Around 150 out of 193 UN member states recognize Palestine as a sovereign state, but the move is still seen as a significant step towards legitimizing the Palestinian cause. Trump's words, although gentle, are in stark contrast to the strong rebukes from Secretary of State Marco Rubio, who called France's recognition reckless and a slap in the face to victims of the October 7th Hamas attack. Rubio argued that the decision only serves Hamas propaganda and sets back peace, and that it's a slap in the face to the victims of the attack. Other prominent Republicans, including Senator Lindsay Graham and Senator Tom Cotton, have also joined in the criticism, with Graham questioning the details of the plan and Cotton labeling it a shameful endorsement of terrorists. But here's the part that most people miss. The Israeli-Palestinian conflict is a deeply complex issue with no easy solutions. While some argue that recognizing Palestine is a crucial step towards peace, others claim and it's a reward for terrorism and a threat to Israel's existence. As the international community continues to grapple with this issue, one thing is certain: the fate of the Israeli-Palestinian conflict will have far-reaching consequences for the entire world. And this is the part where we ask, what do you think? Do you agree with Macron's decision to recognize Palestine, or do you think it's a mistake? Should the international community prioritize peace and diplomacy, or should it take a stronger stance against terrorism? Share your thoughts in the comments below, and let's keep the conversation going. As we move forward, it's essential to consider the perspectives of all parties involved, and to work towards a solution that promotes peace, justice, and human rights for all. The question is, can we find a way to balance the competing interests and needs of the Israeli and Palestinian people? Or will the conflict continue to simmer, waiting to boil over into all-out war? Only time will tell, but one thing is certain: the world is watching, and the stakes have never been higher. Why Macron's Palestine recognition shakes up Middle East peace efforts. Imagine the shockwaves when Emmanuel Macron dropped a bombshell. France will recognize Palestine as a state at the UN General Assembly in September. This move, announced on July 24th, caught many off guard. In line with our enduring dedication to a fair and enduring peace in the Middle East, I have resolved that France will acknowledge the state of Palestine, Macron declared on X. Peace is within reach, he optimistically appended. But here's where it gets controversial. While Macron's diplomats believe this step could pave the way for peace, America and Israel argue it only strengthens Hamas. Why now? And this is the part most people miss. The timing is crucial. By making this announcement, Macron is not just sending a message of support to Palestine, but also potentially altering the geopolitical landscape. What do you think? Does this move genuinely foster peace, or does it risk escalating tensions? Share your thoughts in the comments. Do you agree with Macron's bold strategy, or see it as a misstep?